return of the EV Vicar. Sorry, EV Trainee Vicar. Must make sure I get that in there. A few people have asked me lately about costs of the Citroen AMI that I drive, and I've done a few calculations based on the Fiesta, the Ford Fiesta 2014 plate, I think it was, that I used to drive more regularly. And the Citroen AMI works out great in all departments, really. To start with, yes, there is a layout, obviously, to either buy a Citroen AMI or start payments into their sort of leasing scheme. Citroen have a leasing scheme which is extremely affordable. If you can scrape together a deposit, you can pay basically £20 a month for a Citroen AMI on the leasing scheme, and usual sort of agreement at the end. You either buy it outright at the end of the agreement, depending on how much you owe at the end of that agreement, or you can swap for a newer vehicle. I think the basic outlay, if you're going to buy a Citroen AMI outright, is about £7,600, which is, yeah, it's a lot of money. And sure, I know a lot of people still wouldn't be able to afford that, but is, I think, or certainly was for a period of time, the cheapest new street legal vehicle that you could buy in the UK. I don't know if that's still the case, but certainly it was the case last year when I was first looking around at Citroen AMIs. What does it cost in terms of sort of charging up on electricity versus fuel? Well, the great thing about the Citroen AMI is you can charge it up at home without the need for any new equipment to be installed. You can charge it up from a standard 13 amp 3-pin socket at home. You will need an adapter to do that because the AMI comes as standard with a European 2-pin plug, so you'll need an adapter to plug it in as appropriate. But from almost zero to a full charge with my current electricity provider's rates, the kilowatt hour rate, I can charge the AMI up from 0 to 45 miles, which is about the usual range of an AMI, for about £1.86. Now I did some calculations based on miles per gallon, etc. with the Fiesta that I mentioned earlier, and the same 45 miles in the Ford Fiesta would cost me nearly £7. So you can see, particularly when you're charging it from home, it is very cost effective, very affordable. So yes, I totally accept that finding a deposit for an AMI and joining the sort of leasing scheme, or even buying the AMI outright in the first place, might make it, like any car, cost prohibitive for some people. I totally get that. But if you're able to do either of those things, it's certainly cheap in terms of running costs. Certainly for me, who does lots of short range journeys during the course of a day, it's just the ideal solution for many reasons. So, I mean, that's just a little basic bit about the AMI. If you're thinking about what's it going to cost me, can I afford it, is there any benefit in terms of running costs to a petrol car? Absolutely, in every respect. For the type of journeys I do and the kind of vehicle I need, it is much cheaper than a petrol car, and even a fairly fuel efficient modern petrol car. So there you have it. I think it's worth it economically as well as environmentally, and all the other things that you might need to consider when you're thinking about buying an electric vehicle or buying a Citroen AMI in particular. So that's a short update for you on economics of the car. I am on my way to Wednesday morning prayer and then Holy Communion at church. Stunning sunrise in my part of West Yorkshire this morning. Those of you who were up and about earlier in the Mirfield and surrounding area, I think you probably will have seen the same thing. Absolutely beautiful. Isn't God's creation amazing? And all the more reason reason for looking after it the best we can. Until next time, this is the EV Trainee Vicar signing off. I'll see you soon.